Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and make a different kind of video than I usually do. Usually I just stream and post videos of cool builds and whatnot that I've played. But I wanted to take a moment and clear up some misconceptions about Dooley. So a lot of people are hating on Dooley and saying that he's dead now that the new patch is in. And I would have to disagree. My experience, although can be volatile, has been pretty much positive regarding Dooley. There is obviously the Bella Lister version, but I don't think it's just directly related to that. I don't think that is the only build that works for Dooley. So I wanted to basically do like a proper big deep dive how-to guide of how I play Dooley. It's not by any means the be-all to end-all of how to play Dooley. I'm sure there are things that I could probably be doing that's better. This is just how I play it and how I have found success. So I am just going to jump straight in and we'll go straight into ranked. I am still trying to chase that legend dream. So we'll see what we can make happen with this. Okay, so first and foremost, the main difference between Dooley and the other playable characters is that when you start with Dooley, instead of getting 4 silver tier items, you get a choice of 3 cores. So burn core or ignition core was in the last patch the best thing ever, and has since pretty much fallen off. There is sort of an argument with saying that Microdave ignition core is pretty good. Armored core I've had some success with. The core is probably, in this case, with what I'm wanting to do, it is probably the item that I want. Although in saying that, I'd probably be happier with crit core. That seems to be the better option, but in this case I'm happy to go with just the core. So we're charging the core on the left and the core is charging items on the right. Now, first and foremost, this is kind of a hard decision. On day one, essentially what happens is you are offered 2 opportunities to get extra XP. Now what's important about that is we want to get to level 2 before the PvP fight at the end of day 1. So the way that you do that is by taking 2 of these opportunities. So there's a chance that you'll get it now before the first PvE fight, which means that you kind of are a little bit scuffed for that. But in saying that, there are some fights that you can win without even having anything on the board. So things like Kyber Drone, Banana Ball, you know, that sort of stuff, you can easily win without even having anything on the board. So because of that, and because we are offered the opportunity, even though Sylvia is cracked on day 1, I think we still go for the XP. So this is what we're going to do. And we're offered the Kyber Drone, and so because of that, I'm just going to put the core in my bag, and we just win. It cannot do enough damage, and it cannot build up the damage because it's not slowing anything, so therefore we just win. We win by having nothing on the board. And there you go. Pretty easy. I'll take the stinger. It's not really going to be doing much. Okay. So, now that we are offered the second opportunity to gain 1 extra XP, it means that if I do not choose that and instead go for small items, this will not be available to us at the next point. So because of that, if I choose to get the free item or choose to go for small items, we will not level before the first PvP encounter. So I must take the Lost Crate. And here we go. So we get JJ, Finn's Big Bite, or 3 bronze chocolate bars. So because of that, we now level. I think the best idea in this case, even though Finn's Big Bite is good, and it would be good, to get some extra HP and regen, we will not have the opportunity to fill out the rest of our board. So we would, I mean, it's still a good idea because you would get, some extra HP and so on and so forth. But I still think it's better to go to JJ. We have 13 gold, and because of that, we can just get some stuff to fill out our board.
So, how about this weather?
Not particularly pleased with welding helmet. I mean, it's a very short cooldown, but it really does virtually nothing for us. So because of that, and because it's so cheap to reroll, I think we just reroll. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll just buy the 2 friends.
You're busy. Enjoy your purchase.
So this will now be, I think we get rid of that. Excuse me. And we do this, and 6 seconds, 8 seconds. I mean, that will go down by a second by running it next to Wallace. I'm just choosing whether or not I want to run it on the right or the left. I think it's fine for the moment. And here we go. So the first level up is always a bronze tier skill. So I think at this stage I am going for a weapon related build. I think that's the strongest now for Dooley. And because of that, I think we just go for the extra 20 damage on the core at this stage. It may change, but yeah, I think at this stage we just go for this and this. And now we have 300 health and a big board. So unless this person has decided, Pizza Man 745 has decided to do the same thing as me, I think we have a very good chance of winning day 1. Now, why do I want to win day 1 so badly? It's because you can essentially snowball from this point. So because we win day 1, we're in a stronger position then to win day 2 because we've already built up all of our XP. We're stronger. We can take on harder fights, so on and so forth. What happened to my... Huh, that's weird. My mouse, my cursor has changed. Anyway, that's a weird bug I've never come across. So yeah, we are just inherently stronger, and the more important thing is you have to win 10 days. So you want to get as many wins as possible early, because these wins are easier to win than these wins over here on these later days. So with all of the charge meta that's going on at the moment, it's very hard to beat those builds on the later days because that is when they are at their strongest. When they're at their weakest are these couple of days here, where they are just trying to get the items that they want or need to make those charge builds come online. That end, they also need to upgrade them. And so they are far more likely to upgrade them at this point, and then obviously at this point they are going to be completely cracked and possibly unbeatable. So we don't want to try and get to those days. We just want to try and win these days so that we don't have to potentially get to these days. So let's see what Pizza Man has. Okay, he's done the same thing as me. But obviously he's going Companion Core. Companion Core is probably the weakest on the first couple of days because it's very reliant on getting the right items. And clearly he does not have the right items. So therefore we just win. Okay, here we go. All right. We need to keep riding this XP train, which obviously means that Strange Mushroom is a very strong contender. Kev's Armory, though, is also a very good option because there is a high potential and high frequency, I'd want to say, that he offers enchanted items. So generally regular items that just have a shield enchant, which obviously is very strong. We could also go for a small non-weapon item. It's just a free item. I'd say at this stage, although it's very possible that we get a enchanted item, I don't want to roll for it. And there's also the possibility that we just don't get anything that we want. So I think we just keep riding that XP train at the moment and see if we can at least get to level 3 as fast as possible. Jungle Ruins is probably the call, once again, for the same reasons. Medium items are okay, but there's not really too many that I want. In my opinion, at this stage, I think the strongest option is going to be Combat Core for this build. It just is, you know, the strongest option to get the biggest damage off quickest, especially if you can get items like GPU, which we have, where it hastes the core, which means it's hasting this, which is also charging things to the right, which is obviously where we would have Combat Core, and it also charges Combat Core at the same time. Same thing, like if we get the skills that upgrades your core, it upgrades both cores, so on and so forth. So it's just very, very strong at the moment. So I think we go for the extra XP. And we take a turn. Now, this is kind of where we need to figure out the strength of our build. So it's very common. It's very common for us to not really be strong enough to take on the Rogue Scrapper. He does do 60 damage every 10 seconds. Which is quite a lot. It's more than you actually think. Barbed Wire gains damage whenever it shields. This only has 2 charges, so it's only getting an extra 10 damage, but it's on a 4-second cooldown, whereas we have a 6-second cooldown. We are building shield with this, but it's really not that fast. But in saying that, we do slow, and we slow very often with cool LEDs. We're also hasting the core, and we're building a little bit of burn. It's really not much. It's very negligible. But we don't have any scaling. That's the important thing. So he has 450 health. We only have 300. If I had a bit more shield, I'd be a bit more comfortable taking on the Rogue Scrapper. But at this stage, I think it's just a safer bet to take on the Coconut Crab and have the potential of getting a really good skill. So I think that's what we do. Plus all of the extra XP that we've gotten so far, it just guarantees that we level. So it really doesn't matter. We only lose out on 1 XP and a little bit of gold. So I think it's worth it for a guaranteed win and a potential very strong skill. Okay. Not mad about the coconut. That is probably the second best item that I could have gotten. At this stage, I don't think a bronze tier tool item, I think pretty much is going to be like a Chris Army knife or something like that, which is okay. I mean, it could help with Wallace, and obviously charging the core a little bit. Getting a bronze tier item, though, it's not going to get us what we want, which is obviously the combat core. It can only be a silver tier or higher. Bronze tier loot item is interesting because it cannot include, or as far as I'm aware, it cannot include like a cinders or a poison. because they only start at silver. So you have a high chance of either getting regen or you have a high chance of getting cooldown reduction. So I think at this stage, I'd probably just go for the extra 2 gold and the bronze tier loot item. And we get a crit. I'm not unhappy about that. So we got quite a bit of money. I'm not really that thrilled about spending it though. Curio could be good because obviously, you know, more damage, more cooldown reduction, so on and so forth. But I actually think at this stage, even though we have 13 in the bank, you'd be surprised how quickly that runs out. So I think at this stage we just go for the free small shield item. And it's an upgrade to Wallace. Not unhappy at all about that. Okay. So we've got another choice, sorry. I think we can sell the coconut. Yeah, you only buy medium. Okay. I think we can sell the coconut, just get extra 30 health. That's fine, that's whatever. But we need to fill the rest of our board up. This is obviously not an item. I think we probably just used it on the core, but I might just wait a minute because you may think to go for the lost crate, which is obviously a fine choice, but the problem is we are not going to level from it. It's not going to get us any power immediately before this PvP fight, whereas going to a vendor like Midsworth, where we can get either small or large, we could potentially find the item that we're looking for, and that gives us power for this fight. Whereas if we went this, we would have to use this, and we still don't have a full board. So I think the smarter option is just to go to Midsworth and, at the very least, just fill out the rest of our board.
Back to business.
We get offered nothing really of value, honestly. If we were to roll, we would not be able to afford the large item, because obviously this is a very expensive roll, and the large item is 12 gold. We have 3 that we can sell, but we're about to spend 4. So, I mean, I'm going to roll anyway, because the items that he's offered are not really of any value. I mean, we could potentially go the coolant, but that would just be to fill out the board. It's really not what I'm looking for. And thrusters is good, just having, you know, cooldown reduction, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm not particularly pleased with these options, so I don't really want to spend my money on them. Plus, this is changed to only freeze small items, so freezing one small item for 1 second is just meh at the moment. So let's roll and see if we get something good, and we did. So yeah, Alpha Ray is phenomenal with this build, because if we do get combat core, it scales off both. So it's amazing. So let's sell the Eagle Talisman now. We'll get it on the core. We move the core back over here because not really charging anything. And I think we just go Induction Aegis just purely because it's a very short cooldown and it's better than Stinger. And I mean, this could be good if we had better shield, but we don't, so there's no point in wasting money on it. Okay, so we got a pig that won day 1. That is most likely a high HP. Wouldn't be Addle, it'll probably be like a bushel, or possibly even Jabalian Longbow or something like that. Something that does high damage or has high survivability. Whether or not he's done the right thing and leveled up as much as possible and has a big board like me, I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
I should warn you, I'm not like other Jabalians.
So yeah, just as I thought, Jabalian Longbow is what he started with. He has more health than me, which means it's about to take 3 shots at me. And with 8% crit, it's obvious that it just crits, you know? That's just what happens, hey. Because it has that 8% crit, it means it crits. So, it's unfortunate, but this is just what we come up against. We can move past it. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Day 3. Obviously, we would like more weapons. More weapons means, and fast weapons means more charges on the core. But I think at this stage, day 3, it's probably still better off going for Mountain Pass and going for the extra income. So gaining 2 income means we now have 7 income per day. So that's, you know, we have at the very least, you know, 9 more days that we have to go through. That's 18 more gold over that course of time. So that's basically what I like to think of it as. There's probably obviously no point in getting it here on this day because then you've only got potentially 3 more days worth, which is only 6. So when it's early on, I think it's very highly valuable to invest in that extra income. At this stage, I think it's probably best. We're not going to level before the PvE fight. So I think probably just getting the 5 extra chocolate for free is a better investment. Okay, so we can sell crypto. It's 5 gold, so that's good. And we get the extra, you know, 50 odd health. I think at this stage, because of the extra scaling that we're getting from the Alpha Ray, I think we are actually okay to take on the Aetheryte. Normally it is very hard, but I think the skill that it offers, as well as potentially Force Field, I mean less so in this build because we really aren't building up that much shield. But it's, you know, worth a lot of gold at the very least. And I think it's doable with only 650 health. I think we have a high chance of winning this.
The sparks! They're everywhere!
So yeah, basically what I was saying earlier, because we're investing so heavily in increasing our power early, we're able to take on the stronger opponents and get more value later. So it's compounding. Now, at this stage, the core really doesn't offer us that much. The upgrade gives us an extra, like, 10 damage or something like that. It's really... the investment is not worth it. So I think what we want to do is just upgrade the Alpha Ray at this stage. It's going to give us more power and hopefully give us a better opportunity at winning fights later. At this stage, we still have one more potential encounter. So one more chance at getting a better item. There are some very strong non-weapon items, but at the moment I'm thinking, you know, we've got 19 gold in the bank. We're not going to level before the next PvP fight, but we can set ourselves up for a better board after. So let's just get the XP while we can, because once we get into the later days, we're no longer offered those options. So... once again, we could offer ourselves the extra XP, but it's not really going to help us right now. So I think we go for the vendor here, and we just fill out the rest of our board. We get something that's going to help us. Uzi is definitely a very good option. So that's a quick weapon that's going to be charging our core. And I think we roll. Race car's okay, but we have no form of haste. Welding helmet's okay, but once again, it doesn't really offer us much at the moment. I think we roll and hope for something better. Okay, so we've gotten an upgraded GPU. That's obviously good. And I actually think that we just go for the Chris Army knife to charge the Wallace.
Okay, now sell me something.
So
Something
this should be good. All right. Okay, Vanessa. Level 1 wizard. So let's see if I'm right in saying that we are slowly building ourselves up to be able to take over these first fights and get ourselves in a good position. They seem to have also done very well. They've got the barrel, which is OP at the moment, but they're not really running non-weapons. They have one non-weapon, so it's not going to be building up that much shield. They are obviously getting a lot of damage, but so are we.
You've got
Okay.
talent. You should put
So it's
it
a tie.
toward nobler use.
I'm happy with that. I will take that. Okay. Sells items, very ambiguous. I'm not particularly thrilled with that. We are starting to run out of time, where it would be a good opportunity to get the combat core. Sharpening stone on day 4 is going to be bronze. That is just not worth it at all in any way, shape, or form. We could get some free chocolate bars, get 50 extra health, which is obviously a good thing. I think even though this is probably the worst option, we just go for it because we need to try and get that combat core.
Come on in. Let's chat.
Okay, we got force field. None of this is very interesting to me, so I think we roll. Okay, we missed. Okay, well, it is what it
It
is.
was nice to see you.
If you want Grim and
Okay,
Snorri,
silver tier
you
skills.
came to the
Okay,
wrong
rapid
thing.
Thor is
I
just
believe in
cracked.
joy.
There's really not too much freeze out there, but when there is, it is infuriating, especially with, you know, small builds. That's usually the targets of those freezes. So I think Rapid Thor this early, you know, day 4, is just ridiculous. I think we need to get
There
some
are a lot of
defensive
steps in this staircase, but it's
capabilities.
beautiful up there.
Sells medium items. There's really not too many medium items that I'm looking for. It could be, you know, a motherboard, something like that. That will give us, you know, extra damage on the core, which is obviously good. Is it worth it to try for it, or is it worth it to get some more XP? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. A small non-weapon. It could be an upgrade to something that we've got. But I think because of the gold that we have and the amount of XP that we will get, I think I'm willing to try and find it.
Sale, no sale. I
Okay.
want what's right for you.
Pulse rifle is good. We could run it with just Chris Army Knife, get rid of both Bomb Squad and Wallace. I think it's worth it, especially with Alpha Ray and the amount of charging it's going to do on the core. So I think at this stage we go for it.
I used
And
to
I'm
offer a
even
free
willing
ride
to
home,
roll,
but people thought it was weird.
and we got nothing. Okay, it's fine. We still have 10 gold. This is why we build our gold up. Okay, Hydra Dude. Hydra Dude is difficult. Yeah. It's a difficult one to call. He's got 1200 health. and his eels charge when we use an item. It obviously slows our items. And when you slow, your weapons gain damage. And when you slow, they all gain crit. So it's a very potent combination. It's at this stage where we kind of need to think, well, do we actually have enough damage to actually have to worry about those things? I think the payout is probably worth it because we obviously get 4 experience, plus the 1 experience for the day. So that's actually a total of 5 experience. So it's quite a lot to actually have to pass up. I think at this stage, with the extra damage we're getting from Alpha Ray, and the amount of charging that we're going to be getting on the core means, you know, the more procs on Alpha Ray and therefore more damage on all of our items. I think we could actually be okay. So yeah, it was a little bit of a different story prior to this patch. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good, actually. We get 2 crit whenever we slow, and this is going to slow whenever we use the core, essentially, and charges it. But if we upgrade it to diamond, it just goes off whenever we use the core. So that is actually really good for the future. It's not good right now, but it's good for the future. But yeah, as I was saying, previously the eels was just instant. It didn't have a charge, it didn't have a cooldown, it just used it. So it was much more difficult. But now, because it's a cooldown and it charges, I think Hydra Dude is a little bit easier to deal with. Okay. Mountain Pass, I think we can't pass up the opportunity at a battle. So we're not really interested in friends at this stage because we've got the pulse rifle and we already have a friend. I mean, I would swap this out for a first Aiden. But yeah, I think at this stage, Mountain Pass and going for a battle. Deadly Crooner is tough. Is he beatable? I think so. With what we've got, I think he's going to be fine. Even if he's not, we still level. So okay. Textiles is whatever. It's some extra gold. Silver tier loot, silver tier item. Combat core can be well, it is a silver tier item at the lowest level. So it's very possible to get it through this. But then again, it's possible to get any silver tier item. So I think at this stage, our best bet is probably just going for silver tier loot and possibly getting cooldown reduction, which is what we got. Okay, tools. The docks. I think we probably are just going for the docks. Let's just, yeah. We obviously want better cooldown on the core. Yeah, so tools, we could potentially get, you know, an upgrade to the Chris Army knife. It's a bit whatever. There are some other tools that I might be interested in, for like haste and whatnot, but I think the best option at this stage is just going to the docks. We get a free item and we get gold for it. Plus, once again, because we're trying to get combat core, it's possible to show up as a shield item or a weapon. Aside from the weapons that we have, there's not really any other weapons that I would probably be running over them. There are some shield items I'd probably want. So I think we just go for shield item here. Okay, yeah, so bandages is fine. And it's probably even better over induction Aegis. Because one burn is whatever. So it's the same cooldown, but we get healing as well as shield, which can be good against poison items, which is very highly likely from a Vanessa at this stage with pufferfish. So and exactly what I thought. So whether we win this or not, I don't know. They really do have a very good build at this stage. They are basically just pumping their pufferfish. We are building our damage. Whether it's faster than they are building their seaweed, it looks like it. But whether or not we can actually hold out is the real question. And it looks like it can. Yeah, okay. They're not quite there yet, but they have a very good build. It's going to be very dangerous later, for sure. Okay. Get a friend, not really interested. Sells medium items, again. Could be good, but I think we just go for the docks and we go for a shield item again. Fixer Upper is fine for econ. Chocolate bars or curio. I think at this stage, because of the gold level we have, it's probably fine to go to curio. I think we can sell the stuff that we're just never going to use. Okay. So curio can offer, obviously, cooldown reduction and buffs to our weapons and whatnot. I think that's exactly what we're going to be doing, is just getting the buff to our weapons. Don't think we need to put that. Yeah, we don't need to put that on the board. And we can just sell that, give everything 2 damage. And we roll. Okay, knee brace is no longer giving you increased cooldown reduction. So that's, I mean, it is what it is. You just don't get it now. I can definitely go blue nanas. I mean, 2 gold for an extra 1 damage on everything is fine. Coconut, an extra 10 health. Now, the difference between blue nanas and coconut is if I buy this, I get nothing out of it. So at least with blue nanas, when you sell it, you get 1 gold back. So it's 1 gold for 10 health. This is 2 gold for 10 health. So I don't think it's actually worth it. Giving 10 health to bandages is actually probably a good idea. So, I mean, 6 gold is very expensive, but once again, we get 3 gold back. So it's actually 3 gold for 10 health. So, I think that's fine. Okay, and so we get the option to upgrade our silver tier items. Once again, I think it's best to upgrade our alpha ray. Okay, and at this stage, none of these items, none of these fights are particularly interesting to me. So I think what we're just going to go for is the upgrade to, the increased experience in gold. I think that's probably the most important thing at this stage. Okay.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Nightshade is, yeah, whatever. It's gold, it's extra gold. Finn's Big Bite, or non-weapons. Non-weapons could be good. Extra health, extra regen, like 70 extra health. Could potentially throw an extra 10 shield on this stuff, and I wouldn't be sad about it. Yeah, let's do it.
Now this is health food. Literally.
Okay, Barcoon. Barcoon can buy all of our small items. This is why I really haven't sold these two. Because we just get increased value from it. But more importantly, he can very highly potentially have the item that we're looking for.
Small things.
Okay, so far no good, but let's just sell our small items that we're not going to use. And we'll roll. And we still missed. Wonderful.
I can feel my leaves falling.
Okay. Dooley that has never lost. So, what do we know about that? He's probably mega damaged like us. He probably has some good stuff. I don't think there's anything that I can really do to improve this board, especially with what we've got in our bags. So let's just go. See what we're up against. Not as crazy as I thought. A lot of burn. Yeah, he's gold ignition core. Yeah. Okay. 19 burn on the lighter. Yeah. I don't think we can beat that, unfortunately. It's okay. Bizarrecon. Bizarrecon is definitely good. We can get some extra XP, excuse me. Okay. Skills. So, we obviously don't have any poison skills. So it's at this stage pointless for us to go here. Gold's tier skills is phenomenal. Haste skills is great. So things like when you use the core haste your other items or haste another item is just cracked. It's basically like having a better companion core, but it also does other things. So I think we have to go haste
Speed
skills.
doesn't come from muscles. It comes from beyond.
First time you haste freeze is okay. When you haste, your items gain 1 crit chance. We already have that with slow. Although our slow isn't very good right now, it probably will be. Captain's charge is really good, especially if we end up getting the crit core, oh god, what do you call it? The combat core. But we don't have it right now. So I think we have to go and roll. We have the gold. This is why we have the gold. So we roll and hope that we get something good. And this is pretty good. This is better. So we have 3 non-weapon items. Whenever they go off, they're going to haste one of our other weapon items. And eventually, we're probably going to drop a couple of our weapon items. So things like Chris Army Knife, maybe even the Pulse Rifle, I'd probably swap them out for the Combat Core. So I think we need to go for Mixed Message.
Don't travel from point A to B. Just be there.
Okay. Kev's Armory. Kev's Armory is super strong, especially on day 6, for the same reasons that I've explained before, is that he has a high chance of giving us enchanted items. He also has the chance of giving us the Combat Core.
People here look so...
Yeah. I mean, Shielded Water Cooler is fine, but we're already running Chris Army Knife and he needs other friends, and that's going to fuck up our Pulse Rifle, so no. But that's what I mean. You know, it's an enchanted item. So let's roll. Still didn't get anything. Barbed wire. No.
People say my
It was
armor's
worth
the
a look,
best,
though.
but I'll keep working on it.
Okay. Lich, don't even think about it. There's just no way you're going to win. There's not even, you know, any point in even trying to humor it. It does just, you're just going to lose. 100%. At this stage, even if I had like the most cracked build ever, it probably would still lose to Lich. So because of that, I think we have to go for something else. We could go Foreman. I mean, Crane is ridiculous. Like, actually disgusting. Could be good. Cog is amazing. Hasten adjacent item. Can't get Chris Army Knife. And when you use a tool, the items adjacent to it gain 6% crit is fine, you know. We've only got one tool at the moment, except for the man behind the mouse right now. This is also really good. Whenever you use a weapon, you get 4% crit. But I think the benefit of extra gold on this guy is probably better. So let's go for that. Beautiful. Okay, power sander. It is whatever. Medium items I think is less valuable right now than just getting some chocolate. So I'm never using that. Power sander, maybe. Maybe. Is it better than bandages? Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. At this stage, I think it's best just to get some extra HP. We have 50 gold, but I think you'd be surprised how quickly that runs out. Okay, silver item or 2 gold for every tool that I have. Apparently I have more than one tool. Which... do I have one in the... oh, of course, power sander. I think we just go for the silver loot item. And yeah, feather is just wonderful. Thank you. So let's just sell all of our stuff. You'll notice I'm very slow when I'm doing that. It's because I have the hand-eye coordination of an 80-year-old woman. Sells weapons. We have a lot of weapons that we could potentially upgrade. So I think, although Docs is good, I think this at this stage is better.
My battle days are over, but my
Okay.
weapons crave more.
Kinetic cannon can be good. Axe sword, Tesla coil can also be pretty good. I think we roll. Ah, combat core. Finally. Okay. So even at silver, I think it's still probably the best option here. This is the exact reason why I don't sell the feather straight away, because there is the potential that we get something good and then we have wasted the value of this. So I see a lot of people that get them straight away and bang, straight away sell it. I always highly suggest that you don't do that, because now we have a very high chance of benefiting from it. So I know I said I was going to get rid of the pulse rifle, but now that I think, no, because of the mixed messages, I think, yeah, it is definitely better to do this and then put this over here. And now we are going to most likely charge this to the shithouse. So I'll keep them just in case this doesn't work out. Bellalister is phenomenal. It is just a ridiculous, disgusting item at the moment. Problem is, on cores like the core or, you know, straight up damage core, it's very hard to get haste on it. You have to get very lucky. So I don't think it's probably going to work out better than the combat core at the moment. So I think we just leave it at that. Okay. Dooley, that has lost on day 1. So they're doing better than us. I'm just trying to think if we hedge our bets by replacing the Uzi with the power sander, but I think the charge off the Uzi is going to be more beneficial than the potential haste on the combat core. Because every time this goes off, this gains damage. It gains 10 damage, so that's 20 damage every 4 seconds. That's 6 damage and 6 shield every 4 seconds. So it's just 100% better. Plus, obviously, it's charging the core, which is then subsequently charging the combat core. So, I think it's fine to sell the feather now and get that down to 3.8 through a 5.4, so on and so forth. 1.9 seconds now. So, I think we're good to leave them. I think we're in a pretty good state now. I was a little bit worried, but I think now we're okay. Yeah, he has Bellalister. And Dianosaur. Yeah, this is going to be tough. If he has any form of crit, we're dead. Oh, that is so close. So close. It just goes to show this isn't unbeatable. You know? Even with 2 of my items being destroyed, this still came out on top. On an arguably worse core. Okay. Chocolate bars. Maybe. I think we desperately need some upgrades to some of our core components. Like cool LEDs, GPU, so on and so forth. We could probably get rid of the bandages now for something else, maybe like a first aid in or a multi-tool or something like that. So I think with our health total at the moment and our gold, I think it's fine for us to just go and search.
Place, right?
Brick Buddy? We're not running any friends, so although that's really good, I don't think it's something that we can go into now. And yeah, none of this is actually worthwhile.
I got better goods.
But it was only 2 gold. It only cost us 2 gold. So,
Size dilutes the brain. Mind is highly concentrated.
yeah, no. Not really lucking out here, unfortunately. Yeah.
If you want cheap junk, go see Curio.
I think there's no point in going for Joyful Jack because his skill is gold and ours is silver. So we are not going to be offered it at all. The equivalent exchange is not going to do anything for us, and critical aid, I mean, it is what it is, but the rest of it is just nothing. We could, however, very possibly go for Rivet Gun. When you use the item to the right of this, charge the item to the left of this. So with Rivet Gun in between the core and the combat core is pretty strong. The rest of it though is pretty garbage. And Clean Storefront is not going to do anything for us. It's also the worst option. Shock Trooper is going to be hard because he does hit very hard. When you burn, this gains 50 damage for the fight, so we basically need to kill him instantly. Do we have enough to actually do that? I don't think so. Do we have a pretty good chance? I think so. So I think we go for it. Okay. Induction Aegis. Fair enough. Alright. Level 10 is always a enchantment option. Crit would be good, but I think the more important thing is to get Radiant. I think Radiant is just the most important thing at the moment with all of them, and you are always going to want to do your most important item. So I think this is the right call. This can't be slowed or destroyed or frozen. It's, yeah. If we get a good fight, will we level? So Let's say we get a fight that gives us 3 XP. That's 4. Yeah, we will level before the next thing. So even though we probably need to upgrade at least this as a weapon, I think this is more important. Oh my god, yes. Please give me bonk. Bonk or this, improved bludgeon. Gain 2 extra slow on cool LEDs is crazy. Going into the Thieves Guild is also crazy. But yes, by far bonk is the most important thing that I would want from him. I don't even know his name. I just know him as bonk. Okay, we didn't get anything good. That's fine. Get a friend? No, I am fine being friendless. Do we have large items? Yes. So once again, this is the reason why we keep everything in our bags. Because you can sell it for an upgraded amount. You can obviously sell it immediately. Pulse rifle is fine, but I don't want it, honestly. Let's roll. Okay. Yeah, we missed. That's fine. Nothing really to call home about. I think we're fine with that.
Midsworth says I'm bad at this, but I just want the huge thing.
Okay, Vanessa. 3 wins, Vanessa, on a bit of a losing streak by the looks of it. Okay. I don't think getting rid of anything is going to be better. I mean, we could swap out bandages to charge these 2. But then we lose out on a little bit of healing every 3.8 seconds. But I honestly, I don't think that's that important. Because these kind of poison builds, they thrive on getting the poison out immediately, as well as, you know, shielding at the same time. So if we can build up our damage and shielding at the same time, I think that's probably more important.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Okay, so this is exactly why we have Rapid Thaw. Icy Lighter just does nothing. On some other builds, yes. Probably good.
Defeat does
Against
not
us
defeat
because
me.
of Rapid Thaw, no, does nothing. Does nothing to stop us in any way. Okay. Chocolate or non-weapon items. I think at this stage we probably just want to go for non-weapon items and see if we can upgrade some stuff. Remote control. We have 78 gold. I think we get it and think about it. Ooh. Red button. Charge adjacent large items every 6 seconds. Charges at 2 seconds. Let me think. So we could get rid of the power sander. And put this to the left of the core.
Good. Slow
Like
down.
this.
Breathe.
And just put big red button there. And that'll charge that 2 seconds, which will then charge this. Once again, we have plenty of gold, so I think we get it and we think about it, but I don't think right now it's going to be good.
Glad you bought this.
Okay. I think at this stage, the best thing that we can do is Dooley skills.
Curio's crazy.
And this is exactly what I was hoping to get. So whenever we use the core, we haste another item for 1 second. So that is absolutely cracked, because now we have 2 cores. So whenever we're using either core, it's now charging other things constantly. So I think this is definitely the way that we go.
You're gonna love this program. I wrote it myself.
Get a small non-weapon item, get a temporary boost, or we go for medium items. I think... Let's go for medium items.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All about
Okay, these are not the medium items that I was looking for. This could be good. It is going to muck up our mixed messages. Let's roll. Okay. Still didn't get anything worthwhile.
Hey, that's okay. It's been nice talking to you.
Okay. Once again, Joyful Jack, not worth it at this stage. Dr. Vortex, we could get Cog. It's very common to get Cog from him. And Cog obviously is very strong. Infernal Frigate. I think, yeah, we just go for Dr. Vortex. Okay, yeah. So we are just... Because we're using the core, we're now charging the other items, and when the other items are using, that's then hasting the core. So... Light bulb. Light bulb is quick, actually. Light bulb is super quick. Haste, slow, and cooldown items, I think, yeah. I think that is definitely the way that we go. Turbo Copperhead. Still a 6-second item. I think we roll. Do we go for Bellista now? I don't think so. Because then we just have too much saturation of damage. I kind of want to see how Red Button goes. It's very slow though. Very slow. Don't think so. Okay, large items is definitely what I'm looking for. Could get an upgrade to our Radiant Core. Aerodrome is okay if you have a decent amount of gold. I don't particularly want to spend all of my gold trying to find a vendor that is good though. Relax is definitely good, but yeah, I think we want to find an upgrade.
So I opened one.
Okay. Okay. Didn't find anything worthwhile. That's fine. We level, and now we get gold tier loot, which I think is definitely worth it. I think we just get rid of some crud that we are not going to use. I think we can get rid of them. That'll do for the moment. And yeah, let's go for gold tier loot. And yeah, okay, gunpowder. That means that our Uzi is not going to run out for sure. Okay, a non-losing Dooley. Very strong Dooley, apparently. This is scary. I don't know what you are, but I am afraid. I don't particularly want to try out Red Button then, in that case, or Remote Control. Although in saying that, red button. You know what? You only live once. It's going to be charged by the core. And it just means it's like every maybe 3 seconds, potentially. It's just going to be an instant use of the combat core. Let's see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, burn. We definitely don't have enough. Oof, God. Or burn. That means, yeah, microdate is going to be ridiculous. That is close. That is really close. I don't think Power Sander would have made a difference there. I do believe I saw a couple of times where red button was being used on this, but because it was already at the end of its cooldown, it was like it didn't work. So that's something to consider as well. Sells burn items could be okay. We could get an enchant to something. Would we want an enchant to something? Maybe. I think it's worth a shot.
To learn the way of flame.
Okay. Fiery hacksaw. Don't think so. Fiery water cooler at diamond. The problem is it's a 10-second cooldown and it's still only charged this 1 second for 20 HP. It's just... You've got items out there like Yo-Yo, which just goes off instantly. Matchbox, that goes off instantly. And yet, this is still charged this 1 second. This needs to be looked at, for sure.
Fire's not for everyone. Perhaps you're more of a frost.
Okay, I think at this stage, we go for Aerodrome. And Kev's Armory, yeah.
A customer.
This is definitely better. Shielded battery. Only bronze though. We're missing a lot. Shielded balloon. When you use the when you use the weapon to the right of this gains 10 shield for the fight. This has double shield. Could be good. Is the cooldown 4 seconds? I mean, I get rid of red button and probably Uzi. And then it's more targeted haste. Because of mixed messages, and therefore it's then more haste on everything else. I think it's probably the right call, honestly. Because I know for a fact I saw this go off, and it did nothing for the combat core. So I think we go here like this. It's going to get charged by the core. So although it is, you know, relatively quick, I think it's still better to have it to the left of the Radiant Combat Core. Okay, Death Knight Reaper will be a good test to see how this goes. Yeah. Okay, let's go. We definitely need some more defensiveness. That's definitely a very important thing for us right now. Yeah. This is good. We are perma haste right now, especially on the cores. Shadowed Cloak is okay. Okay, we have to. We have to. I mean, the right call is probably Alpha Ray, but we have to get something on this combat core. Okay. Gumballs is probably good. I think we're done with this. I don't think we're going to use that. But yeah, I think we go for this. Small items. Okay. So this goes down to 6 seconds.
Buyer's remorse never. Be
6
remorseless.
seconds changes things. I think I'm going to change my mind. Again. Because it's just what I do. And I think we go for this. Or do we go like this? So it's getting charged. Yeah. I think this is what we do. So this was 6 seconds and charge 2 seconds. This is 6 seconds and just use both of them. It's just inherently stronger. And this is obviously going off quickly, which means it's charging this, which means it's charging this, which means it's going to use these. Let's re-roll. Oof. And now I've changed my mind again. Let's get rid of Uzi. Okay. This is what it's all about. You've got to be able to be adaptable to what you're doing. And this is definitely better than the Uzi. Although Uzi is faster by 1.1 second. Or 2.1 second. No, 1.1 seconds. What am I talking about? Math. Don't do math. This is just more powerful. So, okay. Alright. Temporary boost. I think we just go for JJ again.
I'm a people person, and sometimes I
Metronome. 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 If I say it enough... Once again, I think we buy it and think about it.
Work out for you. Come back for a refund.
But it definitely could be good. Atomic clock. There is a real argument for atomic clock. I think we don't use that. I think we don't use that. This is quick. And quick is good, but... I don't think we use it. We just need space at this stage. I think we get it. Just think about it. There's a lot of that. Think about how we use it. Because yeah, at this stage, I'm not 100% sure on whether Alpha Ray is actually worth it anymore. It's basically 18 damage to everything. But this is already gaining 20 damage. So this is where most of our damage is coming from. The problem is I'd have to get rid of something else. Cool LEDs is probably the call, but it's also the driver of our increased crit chance. But this is good to stuff up their build, essentially. I just don't think 3 ammo is enough, though. I think, if anything, we do this and that. Although in saying that, we are perma haste. Actually, no, we don't do that. I think it's still this. Yeah. Because, yeah, more haste is okay. And targeting the haste to these two is great. But there's no point. They're already hasted fully and constantly. So I think it's still this. I think this is still the board. He has some good stuff. Okay. He's gonna destroy a lot of our stuff. So we gotta damage his stuff quick. Okay. I think we've gotten to a point where it doesn't matter. Yeah, we just do too much damage. Even with 2 of our items getting destroyed. And a ridiculous clearance. Okay, so we're at day 10. Medium and large items, I think so. I think we can start getting the scrap, which is like when you upgrade your core, which is just phenomenal. So I think, yeah, we go for Barcoon. Plus he buys all of our small stuff. We have some small things that we can sell him. So yeah, let's go for that.
Small people. I love them all.
Balloon bot, man, I just don't know. If I can get a skill that like increases the shield, then it's just game over. But until that, we have no defense. And that's probably our biggest weakness, is that we just have no defense. Brick Buddy, no, we just don't have any friends to use for you.
It's so tiny.
So
Am I
that's
even a master
it.
merchant?
Sells items, Artisan June. Is it worth it for like an extra 10 damage? I don't think so.
Profit 10.
Okay, Crane. When you use an adjacent large item, this gains 30% damage for the fight. When you use an adjacent medium item, this gains 20% damage for the fight. So you could basically throw it in between these two. The problem is I'd have to get rid of 3 smaller items. And I just don't want to do that. Would it be funny? Yes. Could it win? Yes. 10-second cooldown. You could get, actually,
Hey,
as
take your
ridiculous
time.
as it
I'm in
is.
no hurry.
I'm trying to talk. You could get multi-strike from a talent, because it's a tool, which just would be hilarious. But yeah, no. I think we got to do the sane thing, you know. Charge the item to the left of this 3 seconds. So every 4 seconds, could be charging this. Interesting. Is it better than every 6 seconds use the core? Probably not, because when we use the core, this is most likely getting hasted. So it's every 3 seconds use the core. But then again, this could also get hasted.
Let's just hang out.
Problem is it's only got 4 charges, so it would go out pretty quickly.
Maybe
I don't think
you're
so.
not cut out for business.
Okay. Trash Titan, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Juggler is ridiculous. For this build, It is the most cracked thing ever. So let's go for it. We didn't get it. Okay. Diamond tier skills or weapon skills. Weapon skills could be good, but diamond tier skills is obviously just ridiculous. We could get something like building crescendo, which would definitely solve our crit problems.
I did not seek this power for my own gain.
Or we could get something as ridiculous as this. Well-oiled machine. When you use the core, reduce an item's cooldown by 5%. This is going off like crazy. This is basically like 1.6 seconds. Because it's just constantly hasted. Both players' weapons have double damage. Could be good. This is good for defensive purposes. If we have burn items, which we don't. I think it's all obviously got to be well-oiled.
I doubted a non-Sphinxian could learn that. Impressive.
Gumballs. Yeah. We only really have 2 items that we could upgrade. So I think, yeah, we just sell the stuff that we're probably never going to use. I'm still not 100% sold on whether or not I use that or not. But yeah, let's go for gumballs. We'll get some extra damage, get some extra health, get some extra crit maybe. Get some extra shield. Damage is good. Okay. Alright. Curio or eating contest. Curio could actually increase some stuff for us. So I think, yeah, we go for Curio. Although we could get like some extra health, I think Curio is probably going to be the best option.
Howdy, hero.
Yeah. Extra haste, absolutely.
Dooley. Now that's a bargain.
So that's going to be on... Ooh, do we give First Aiden an extra second of haste or GPU? I mean, First Aiden's going to go off more often, so yeah, I think it's just, yeah. That's fine. We can definitely give First Aiden a little bit more heal. That's fine. Get some extra health. That's fine. 2 gold for 1 damage. That's fine. No use for either of them. We roll. Chocolate, yes. Medkit, yes. Shield, yes. And bludgeon, yes. So we give our whatchamacallit an extra slow, an extra second of slow. Medkit, yes. Extra health. Shield. Okay. And that's it. That's it. That's all we need. Okay. Dooley. 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 You lost day 1 and day 2. But you've won ever since, which kind of tells me that you are haste and probably have Bella Lister. Do we beat that? He's also facing the wrong way. Obsidian Race Carl and Bella Lister. There we go. And it's shiny. Yeah, cool. I have 1 enchant. Yeah, there's no way that we can win that. That's fine. This is the reason that we want to win early, so we don't see shit like this. But it's fine. Poison is probably the worst thing that we could probably get. Okay, I think we just go poison on first aid. It's whatever, you know? Just a fast hitting one poison every now and then. Small items at this stage probably are nothing to us. So I think we go for a mysterious portal and yes, upgrade an item. Once again, I think it has to be the core. Now we can stop worrying about it. We have the absolute best that we can. We are still looking at other things though. Let's go.
The bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Rain. Still no. Charging station. When you use the item to the left of this, charge the item to the right for 1 second. When you use the core, give it 20 damage for the fight. There is a real argument for this. I'm going to try it on the next fight.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
It would be better if they were around the wrong way. Like this. Because obviously this is going to be going off more frequently than this. But I kind of want to see what happens when we have it like this. Okay. Gold tier loot items, let's go. We've got a poison vial, that's fine. We can give first aid and a little bit extra poison, I guess. Just trying to think who I want to face, because this is going to be like super annoying. And it's not really going to show us how well this works. But at the same time, these don't really give us anything. So we just kind of need to go for the highest value.
Professional.
Very good. Very good.
Objective.
Okay.
Failed. Requesting medevac.
Yeah. Okay. It's loaded 7 times because obviously whenever these are going off, it's charging this. If we got a fucking upgrade on this, it'd be good. I think this was okay. It's hard to say because I don't know how much damage it was giving it, because this is just constantly going up. But I think because it got 3,800, it must have been doing well. Shrouded Figure is pretty much a must-have if you've got 10 gold. This is a guaranteed 3 XP. So you get 1 XP for the hour, plus a minimum of 2 XP from this. So it's at the very least 3. The very best, it's 5. So I think for 10 gold, 5 XP, or a potential 5 XP, we got 4, is great. I actually think we upgrade the charging station. 2 seconds and 40 damage is pretty insane. Monster Ranch, I'm surprised this is the first time we've actually seen it. And I think, yeah, I think we definitely go for it. Ooh. 2. This is pretty awful. It's got to be on the core, surely. I think we go Insect Wing on the core. Because more core usage means more damage on this and more charges. So 5.1 seconds. Okay. Alright, we are at exactly the same point in our game as this Dooley. There we go. Bit of a lag. He's got atomic clock. Blowing our stuff is pretty bad. Can we overcome it though? He has a lot of health and a lot of burn. I think, yeah, unfortunately. But it still proves my point, you know. Dooley's not dead. We didn't really pull it off. I think we were just a little bit too late with a lot of our stuff. But yeah, I think Dooley is still very much alive. Okay, I want you all to know that immediately after that game, I played this and got 10 wins. So, just play Bellalister. Don't try the other crap that I was trying. Just do Bellalister. You'll win. You'll get 10 wins. Yeah. This was the game directly after the last game. Once again, Bellalister. Bellalister Companion Core. If you want to climb the ranks, this is just what you do.